We will fight for our country and we will win. We are committed to delivering results for the American people, and that's exactly what we'll do.
In recent days, a renewed wave of public attention has focused on the long-anticipated release of documents connected to the Jeffrey Epstein case. These materials, expected to become public under legal obligation, have revived old questions while also raising new concerns about transparency, accountability, and the handling of power within major institutions. The situation has created an unusual convergence of legal pressure, political scrutiny, and public curiosity, all centered around how much was known, who knew it, and what actions were taken or avoided. Government agencies were not caught off guard by the approaching deadline. By most accounts, officials had long been aware that the release of these records was unavoidable. Once the legal process removed discretion from executive control, the matter shifted from a question of choice to one of compliance. That shift alone carries weight because it reframes the issue as a test of institutional integrity rather than political preference. When laws are signed and later resisted, the credibility of governance itself is placed under examination. Lawmakers from across the political spectrum have emphasized that failure to follow the law could have serious consequences. These consequences are not limited to public criticism or political embarrassment. They may include legal challenges, congressional actions, and, in extreme cases, proceedings designed to enforce compliance. Such measures exist precisely for moments when the balance between authority and accountability appears threatened. The fact that these options are being discussed openly reflects how seriously the situation is being taken. At the same time, investigative reporting has resurfaced details about Epstein's relationships during the 1990s and early 2000s. Journalists have relied on contemporaneous notes, interviews with former employees, and corroborated accounts to reconstruct the social environment surrounding him. These reports describe a pattern of frequent social interaction with influential figures, marked by regular contact and shared gatherings. Importantly, these accounts focus on association and proximity rather than direct criminal accusation, a distinction that responsible reporting continues to emphasize. The renewed attention has also highlighted how narratives can evolve over time. In earlier years, some relationships were minimized or dismissed as casual. However, as additional records and testimonies have come to light, the picture has become more detailed. Frequency of contact, consistency of presence, and the nature of social settings all contribute to a deeper understanding of how influence and access functioned within Epstein's world. These details do not automatically imply criminal involvement, but they do invite questions about awareness and judgment. Another major focus of the current discussion is the role of the justice system. Observers are asking not only what happened, but why it happened the way it did. Epstein's ability to avoid severe consequences for many years has long been criticized as an example of unequal application of justice. As new documents emerge, survivors, journalists, and legal experts hope to gain insight into how investigations were conducted, how decisions were justified, and whether opportunities for accountability were missed. Survivors' perspectives remain central to this conversation. For many, the release of documents is not about political drama, but about recognition and truth. Each record represents a potential acknowledgement of experiences that were previously ignored or minimized. Transparency, in this context, is not an abstract principle, but a step toward restoring trust in institutions that failed to protect vulnerable individuals. The conversation has also extended to questions of institutional culture. How do power, reputation, and influence shape decision-making behind closed doors? When influential individuals are involved, are standards applied consistently? These questions are uncomfortable, but they are essential. Without confronting them honestly, systemic weaknesses remain unaddressed, leaving space for future failures. Media coverage has played a significant role in shaping public understanding. Responsible journalism has taken care to distinguish between documented evidence, credible testimony, and speculation. This distinction matters, especially in high-profile cases where misinformation can spread quickly. By grounding their work in verifiable sources and clearly stating what is known and what is not, journalists help the public engage with complexity rather than sensationalism. The current moment also illustrates how accountability can extend beyond individual actions. Institutions themselves are subject to evaluation. Policies, procedures, and internal cultures all influence outcomes. When failures occur repeatedly, they suggest deeper structural problems rather than isolated mistakes. Addressing those problems requires more than punishment. It requires reform informed by transparency. Legal experts note that document releases often have ripple effects. Information disclosed for one purpose can lead to new lines of inquiry, civil actions, or policy debates. Even when documents do not contain dramatic revelations, they can still clarify timelines, responsibilities, and patterns of behavior. In that sense, the value of transparency lies as much in context as in content.
We must ensure
Public reaction to
accountability
these developments
and deliver
reflects
justice
a
for all.
broader shift in expectations. There is growing demand
Today,
for
we
openness,
reaffirm our commitment to
especially in
justice
cases
and the
involving
rule of
abuse
law
of
for
power.
all Americans.
Social norms that once
We must
discouraged
ensure
scrutiny
justice
of elites
and order
have weakened,
prevail.
replaced by a belief that authority must be justified
We must act
continuously.
decisively
This
to protect
cultural
our
change
nation and
influences
its
how
interests.
institutions respond, knowing
We
that
must
silence
act
or
now to
evasion
protect
may
our nation
provoke
and
stronger
ensure a
backlash
brighter
than
future for
disclosure.
all.
The Epstein case,
This
in
is the
particular,
most
has
important
become
thing we will
symbolic of
do.
these tensions.
Believe me,
It
we are
represents
going to
not
win.
only the actions of one individual,
We are here
but
today
also
to discuss the
systems that
future
enabled
of
him.
our great
Each
nation.
new document invites reflection
We
on
will
how
fight
many
for our
warning signs
country
were visible
and we
how
will
many were ignored.
win.
It also challenges the
We
assumption
must
that
come
justice
together a
inevitably
nation
prevails
and
without
take
sustained
bold action
oversight.
for our future.
As the deadline for disclosure arrives, anticipation remains high. Some expect dramatic new information, while others
This is the
anticipate
most
more
important thing we
incremental
will do.
clarification.
Believe